Colleagues, we are going to go to unfinished business. The majority of the unfinished business file is proposed special consent. However, there are 4 bills that do not fall into that category, which we will proceed to at this point if there is no objection. Seeing and hearing none, we will start with file item 15, and the 4 items are file items 15, 22, 23, and 34. Starting with file item 15. Senator Liu, you prepared to take that up? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 492 by Senator Liu, an act relating to Medi-Cal.
Senator Liu.
Thank you, Madam President. SB 492 is back on concurrence. Amendments taken in the Assembly simply require the educational guide for CCI consumers be updated annually or as necessary by DHCS. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Anderson? No. Bates? Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Aye. Block? Aye. Canella? Aye. De Leon? Fuller? No. Gaines? No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Whistle? Aye. Huff? Jackson?
Aye.
Aye. Latta? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? No. Pan? Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? Stone? No. Vidak? Aye. Wachowski? Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Allen? Aye. Bates? Aye. Bates, no. De Leon? Huff? Pan? Aye. Runner? Wachowski? Aye.
Ayes 29, noes 8. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Next, file item 22. Senator Hueso, do you wish to bring up that item? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 328 by Senator Hueso, an act relating to rental property.
Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Senators, SB 328 is back for concurrence in Assembly amendments. The bill excludes antimicrobial pesticides from the scope of the bill. It requires advance notifications to tenants of routine pesticide application in common areas prior to initial application and makes other technical and clarifying changes. Largely, I want to thank the members of this body for helping me work on this bill. We have really stripped off all opposition. The bill no longer has any opposition, but it still has the safeguards in providing notification to people that may be exposed to hazardous materials. So with all that, I respectfully request your support in concurring in the Assembly amendments and thank the members for their support in allowing me to work in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hueso. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? There is objection. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? Aye. Bates? Aye. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Block? Aye. Canella? Aye. De Leon? Fuller? Aye. Gaines? Galgiani? Gaines, aye. Gaines, aye. Galgiani, aye. Glazer?
Sorry, I missed that one.
Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock?
I was looking at the wrong.
Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Whistle? Aye. Huff? Jackson? Aye. Latta? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? Morrell? Aye. Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? Aye. Pan? Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Pan, aye. Runner? Aye. Stone? No. Vidak? Aye. Wachowski? I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Berryhill. I. De Leon. Huff. I. Morlock. Aye.
Ayes 38, noes 1. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Next up is file item 23. Senator Hueso. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 385 by Senator Hueso, enacting to drinking water and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Madam President. SB 85 is also back for concurrence in Assembly amendments. This is also a very important bill having to do with chromium 6 in our water supply. Assembly amendments specify that public water systems shall notify all persons served by the public water system twice a year regarding the compliance plan and clarify the requirements of the compliance plan. The bill has enjoyed full bipartisan support and was on consent in the Assembly. I respectfully request your support today.
Thank you, Senator Hueso. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
De Leon.
Ayes 39, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. And next up is file item 34 under unfinished business. Senator Hancock, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 725 by Senator Hancock, enacting to pupil testing and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Hancock.
Thank you, Madam President. SB 725 is back for concurrence. The bill has been amended. Urgency has been added to address the effects of the July cancellation of the high school exit exam. Currently, students who have not passed the CASE cannot receive a high school diploma. SB 725 ensures that these students who have met all other high school graduation requirements will receive their diplomas. The bill simply states that the high school exit exam will not be required as a condition of receiving a diploma of graduation for a student completing 12th grade in 2015. Members, we want to support our young people in moving forward with their lives. The bill has no formal opposition. It has received strong bipartisan support in the Assembly. As a matter of fact, 77-1, and is supported by many school districts, education organizations, and business organizations throughout the state. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Senator Liu.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in support of SB 725. Members, we have a high school graduation requirement in place that no one can meet. And I've been working to address the question of the high school exit exam, whether to update the exam with the Common Core standards, move to multiple measures of competency, or continue with the existing exit exam. My SB 172 addresses the current and future school years. Students who are seniors in high school who have not already passed the exit exam in their junior or sophomore years have no way to meet high school graduation requirements. If we don't look ahead, we will soon find ourselves with yet another situation. SB 725 provides relief to students who completed the 12th grade this year. Students who have worked hard to meet high school graduation requirements should not suffer due to the lack of opportunity. We cannot expect students to meet requirements that we no longer provide the opportunity to meet. And I ask for your support on the bill.
Thank you, Senator Lewis. Senator Huff.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I also rise in support of SB 725 today, as it provides a short remedy for our students in limbo due to a bureaucratic process jeopardizing their futures. Hopefully you all received a copy of the recent LA Times editorial I had delivered to you, which so aptly titled State Schools Chief Flunks on Exit Exam. Flunks. Members, this is the agency charged with millions of our children's education. I agree with the LA Times, who stated the bill is, quote, a less than perfect solution, end quote, and that this situation is, quote, not the fault of the students. This bill is necessary because the CDE, in anticipation of the suspension of the exit exam requirement, as proposed in the aforementioned SB 172, which I strongly oppose, declined to renew the contract for the administration of the KC, causing the discontinuation of the exam. That meant there was no exit exam, or KC, offered in July for pupils who graduated in 2015 but still needed to pass one or both parts of the KC to receive their diploma. It's mind-blowing to me that this even happened. In closing, members, we need to act swiftly to enact an updated exit exam. Otherwise, without an exit exam, we will return to the days where a diploma shows completion of coursework, but without a guarantee of minimum mathematics and language arts competency. We can't let this happen to California students who deserve better than that from us. In the meantime, I ask for your aye vote on this measure.
Thank you, Senator Huff. Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, the issue here
Says you don't have.
is what caused the problem and what we're doing about it. Now, I'm okay with this solution. I understand, based on what Senator Hancock said, and I read it expressly, that's only for this one exam. It does not extend to others. I don't want to get this language inculcated in our minds that we're going to summarily get rid of testing. There is an attempt in California, in fact, and has been for a long time, to do that very thing, in some cases successfully. If the test scores don't go up, what we do is stop the testing. Now here we're doing it again. My question, and in your closing, Senator Hancock, if you'd be so kind, what is being done to investigate the cause and to cause punishment to those who are the perpetrators, who caused this failure that affected so many of our students? Those individuals need to be known by name to all of us. Is that available?
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Senator Hancock, you may close.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, as we all know, the KC contract ran out. It's $11 million a year contract. And with the hope and anticipation that Senator Liu's bill will pass, and we'll have a look at how to find a test or develop a test with multiple measures, and that also deals with the new Common Core standards, which we adopted in 2010. It's 2015. The KC as it exists doesn't test what we're teaching. So I would like to just close by thanking the members. I think that this is what government does when it works well. We find a problem, we fix a problem, we do it in a bipartisan way, we stand by our kids, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hancock. All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson.
Aye.
Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. I. Nilsson. Pavley. I. Pan. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
De Leon. Gaines. Morrell. Nilsson.
Ayes 36, no 0
Nilsson,
on...
aye.
I'm sorry. Ayes 37, noes 0 on the urgency. Ayes 37, no 0. Assembly amendments are concurred in. We are going to move now to Senate third reading. File item 38. File item 38 by Senator Runner. Do you wish to take up this matter? Pass on file. File item 39. Senator Morrell, do you wish to take up this item? Pass on file. File item 40. Senator Hill, not at his desk. File item 41 will pass temporarily. File item 42. Senator Hall, not at his desk. All right, let's move temporarily then. If I could have a moment. Would you have Mr. Lara come up and I'll bring up 41.
Members, we're at file item 41. Senator Jackson, Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 84 by Senator Jackson relative to Women's Equality Day.
Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. This Wednesday, April 26th, is Women's Equality Day. The women of the United States have designated this day as a symbol of the continued fight for equal rights to coincide with the anniversary of women gaining the right to vote some 95 years ago on August 26th. This day has historic importance, obviously, to women's rights and the struggle to attain these rights in the past, present, and as we continue that struggle, that challenge going forward into the future. Through the organized efforts of women, the women's movement, their champions, including Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott, Sojourner Truth, and other allies, essential women's rights have become enshrined in law, including the right to vote, as I mentioned, 95 years ago in 1920, the passage of the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964, getting closer to what some of us can remember, that barred employment discrimination against women, and the enactment of Title IX, guaranteeing equal opportunity for women in all aspects of education. However, despite the many efforts of policymakers and advocates toward ensuring equality for women, gender equality persists in many areas to this very day, including the ongoing struggle for fair pay and job opportunity, especially for women of color, access to child care and family-friendly workplaces, persisting poverty and deep poverty, especially among women and children. The Women's Caucus is attempting to address those issues in meaningful ways through policy changes that will secure economic opportunity for all women. You know, women comprise almost half the workforce and hold up at least half the sky in our state and in our country and worldwide, and are the primary income earners in many households, and are critical to a strong and vibrant economy, and they play a pivotal role in spurring economic growth in our great state of California. The economic security of women benefits all communities and all of us, including our male counterparts, our children and families who count on public policies to meet their basic needs, earn a decent living, and care for their families. This year, as we honor the accomplishments of the women who fought for and continue to fight for equal rights, we cannot ignore the struggles that so many women continue to battle to this very day. With that, I ask you to join me in voting for this recognition as we continue the fight going forward.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. Debate or discussion on this item, members? Debate or discussion? Senator Anderson.
I rise in support of this. I agree with the author. I think that it's unfortunately sad that in this day and time that women are not getting paid the exact same as a man doing a comparable job at a high proficiency. And it saddens me even more that in this legislature, we continue with that trend. As reported by the SAC-B, women in the legislature are getting between 92 and 94 cents on the dollar, and that's wrong. I believe that we should hold others to a higher standard, but I think we first have to look at our staffs and the people that work for us and make sure that we lead by example and that women are not held down under this dome. It's absolutely outrageous to me that in this day and time that this legislature would choose to treat women less than men. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Anderson. Additional debate or discussion on this item? Senator Jackson, would you like to close?
Thank you. I appreciate the comments from Senator Anderson. I'll be bringing back my equal pay bill, hopefully after it gets off the Assembly floor this week, SB 358, which has gotten overwhelming, I think, unanimous support. It is critically important that we make sure that people are paid a fair wage and equally for the work they do. We will continue this battle until it is won, and I have every confidence that both the women and the men in this chamber and in this legislature will make sure that women are paid equally for the great work that they do. And on behalf of all of those women out there in the workforce, we will continue the fight, and on that basis urge your continued support as we seek equality of opportunity in all phases of our society. With that, I would urge your aye vote.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. De Leon. Fuller. De Leon, aye. Fuller, aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lotta.
Aye.
Aye. Jackson, aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Hancock, aye.
Call the absent members.
Allen, aye. Berryhill, aye. Canella, aye. Hill, aye.
Ayes 40, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Members, moving on to file item 42, Senator Hall. Senator Hall, you prepared to take up this item? Pass on file. Members, we're going to move to Assembly third reading. Just a reminder, we're going to begin where we left off on Thursday with file item 88. File item 88, members. Senator Liu, are you prepared to take up this item? Pass on file. File item 89. Senator Jackson, not at her desk. File item 90. Senator Allen, are you prepared to take up this item? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 547 by Assemblymember Gonzalez, and act relating to elections.
Senator Allen.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Senators. This AB 547 is a bill to increase voter turnout and cut costs in San Diego County special elections by extending the primary mail ballot special election program created by AB 1873, a bill that was signed into law last year. More specifically, this bill offers cities, counties, school districts, and special districts within San Diego County the opportunity to opt into the pilot program and conduct a predominantly mail special election. So voters who receive a ballot in the mail have demonstrated that they're up to 5 times more likely to participate in a special election than voters who don't. This bill is sponsored by the County of San Diego. It's supported by the County Registrar of Voters. It's registered no opposition, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. No. Anderson, aye. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. No. Gaines. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Gaines. Aye. Monning. Morrell. No. Anderson, aye to no.
Ayes 28, noes 11. The measure passes. Moving on to file item 95, Senator Allen. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 306 by Assemblymember Hadley, an act relating to school districts.
Senator Allen.
So this is a measure that I'm proud to co-author. It has to do with our military families in schools. So the average military family moves 9 times over a 20-year career. With each move, military children face many school-related challenges. The act of moving for us can be stressful and even more so for a child. This bill, AB 306, will allow the child of an active duty military parent to apply for a transfer to any public school and prohibits the school district of residence from denying the transfer as long as the transferring school district approves of the transfer. So this will allow for a number of benefits for military children. First of all, families moving into our state or to a new area, they can choose a school that will provide the easiest adjustment for the child, and also the easiest adjustment for the family, oftentimes who's engaged in difficult circumstances because of the mother and father's service. For families moving within a region, a child will be able to continue attending a school where they were already enrolled. And of course, as we know, military personnel are oftentimes moved around without any choice of their own. This bill is important. It's necessary because schools are often a crucial factor for service personnel who consider deployment to California military bases. It's also been a challenge that's been raised in the past with connection to our military bases and whether they're considered competitive, whether they're considered places that people want to come to. We should help America's service families access the public schools for their kids while they're here, however briefly, and at the same time make California's military bases attractive to the military and our country's servicemen and women. This bill has received broad bipartisan support. It's passed without any no votes through both houses, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Is there any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 40, noes 0. The measure passes. Moving on to file item 97, members. Senator Allen. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1274 by Assemblymember Mark Stone, an act relating to public lands.
Senator Allen.
So AB 1274 will ensure that we're protecting our coastal resources and marine wildlife by increasing compliance with the California State Lands Commission's permit program for geophysical surveys. The Commission's current permitting authority for these surveys is located in the Commission's oil and gas statute and excludes granted lands that are held in trust by the Commission. An assessment conducted in 2014 found that survey companies that in that area not currently required to obtain permits, for example. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Because unpermitted surveys do not always include mitigation measures to reduce or eliminate impacts to aquatic life, they also may cause harm to the coastal environment. The bill moves the Commission's permitting authority to a more appropriate part of the statute and requires the Commission to update its regulations based on current practices. It also extends the Commission's authority to issue those permits to granted lands. These changes will ensure that we have uniform compliance and ensure that all actions might adversely impact coastal resources are mitigated. With that, I respectfully ask for a vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item. Senator Nielsen.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, if you like giving agencies of government more power, then this is your bill, or one of them. The State Lands Commission is not one that I think we should be given more power to. And I'll tell you a story where in the very early 80s, the State Lands Commission exerted authority that it didn't have over nearly 2 million acres of swamp and overflow lands in California, targeting first Highway 37. As you go between Vallejo and Novato, all of that land out there was in private ownership. And the State Lands Commission, in a high water year, when the levees broke, because the seas were high and the water was coming down heavily in flood stage, the levees broke. Government would not let the landowners fix those levees. And then it came in marching the State Lands Commission saying, well, sorry, we own it. It is no longer swamp and overflow land, it is tide land, subject to the ebb and flow of tide, because the levees broke, and the government wouldn't let them fix it. Now, that was a long battle of long ago, but this agency, like others, has a long and sorry history of usurping private rights. I am one who want to ever give them more power, more authority. I would urge a no vote.
Members, additional debate or discussion on this item. Seeing and hearing none, Senator Allen, would you like to close?
Yeah, I just want to point out in response to my good friend's comments that operations that require surveys are not always site-specific, and therefore I think it would be most consistent for the Commission to be responsible for issuing these kinds of permits to both granted and non-granted lands. And so with that, I ask for the vote of my colleagues.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? No. Bates? Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Canella? Aye. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? No. Gaines? Aye. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? Jackson? Aye. Lara? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? Nielsen? No. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? No. Stone? Fidek? No. Wachowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Bates? Huff? Wynn? Stone? Aye.
Ayes 29, noes 8, the measure passes. Moving to file item 19, Senator Hertzberg.